Are you wondering why the Lord has put certain passions on your heart and goals in your mind and in your future just to watch them crumble right in front of your eyes? Then all of a sudden you're left shaken up about your identity and which way the Lord wants you to go? Well, in John 13:7, Jesus replies, "You do not realize now what I am doing, but later you will understand." I am now 28 years old, and now I see God's hand all throughout my life just to see that He had a very specific purpose in all of it, which has ultimately led me to Banana Ball. Growing up in California, I just loved dancing. I was always locking my room and I would just dance in front of the mirror, whatever it was, and I would just keep doing it every single day for hours and hours. That ultimately helped me to become a better dancer. I didn't have a purpose in what I wanted to do, but I just loved dancing. As I got older and I really developed in baseball really looked to be what the future was, college and professional baseball in the big leagues. And as I got recruited, that was something that I knew that the Lord had for me. During my senior season, I met with 23 of the 30 MLB teams at my home as a 17-year-old about the draft and passing college to go to the MLB. So I was full set that I'm going to be in the big leagues. This is what I'm made for. This is my identity. And that's what I gave my life to. That's what I gave all my time and my energy to. I ended up going to college and I was introduced to FCA. It's not something that I would go to consistently, but I was curious about it. I would go, maybe once every few months. I didn't give my life to Christ at that time, and I ended up going to a junior college, and then I ended up going to the University of Arizona. And this wasn't the path that I expected. I expected to go to University of Oregon, be a first-round pick, be in the big leagues, live the dream, play under the bright lights. But at the University of Arizona, I found myself lost. And in the fall of my junior season, I gave my life to Christ. And in that same time, I also started to produce music. And that's where the music producing really took off. That's where my passion really started to flourish. Maybe I'm supposed to be producing music as well, baseball and music. That seems awesome, something I can do both at the same time. I ended up getting drafted by the Chicago White Sox and going to play pro ball 2018 and 2019. And then during COVID, our whole country got shut down. And I remember distinctly writing a letter to myself. Essentially what I did is that I put myself in the mindset of me being the older me. And I wrote a letter to myself saying, I am so thankful that I did not waste this time during COVID to pursue my passions and to grow. And so that whole year I would train. I'd get up at 5 a.m. I would go train. I'd listen to podcasts. I would journal. And by noon, I'd be done training for baseball. And from noon to 10 p.m., I would take online courses for producing. As I got better with music, I was like, maybe I am supposed to be a producer and a DJ growing up near Coachella. That sounded like an awesome plan. And that is what God had for me. That's what I was expecting. So 2021 came around. I played a season in North Carolina. I moved back home and I ended up moving to Texas just a week into the off season to be around a young adult community of strong believers that I can connect to and really grow in my faith. After that off season, I moved back to Arizona for spring training and I ended up getting hurt the first week of spring training and spent that entire season rehabbing my back. That was probably one of the most difficult times in my life, one of the lowest valleys that I had ever been in, seeing my dreams just slip away from me. And I really endured some mental health issues during that time, but something that was amazing during that time was that I got to really pursue the Lord and really focus on the people around me. And I ultimately had the opportunity to fly back to Texas to take Sydney on a date, which we are now married. There was so much purpose in that season of being in the valley and going through that and gaining perspective that the Lord truly is the rock and He has a very specific purpose that is far greater than anything that we could ever imagine. The next season rolls around and I got released the third day of spring training. So my identity was completely stripped from baseball at that time. I moved back to Texas to focus on my relationship with the Lord and with Sydney. I separated myself from the identity of baseball and I got a normal job and I was just questioning the Lord with everything. I did not know where my identity was. I thought it was baseball. I thought it was music. I did not think it was a 9-to-5 corporate job of anything of that sort. But in the next 16 months, I was really able to be present, stripped away from all of these identities that I had ultimately put on myself and those identities that really consumed my actions and my identities and my habits. And I was able to really focus on where the Lord had me at that time. And it wasn't until May of 2024 when I got a DM from the Savannah Bananas asking me to come play. And I wasn't expecting much, but I knew that I wanted to finish out my passion for baseball with 6 games with the visitors. And that's what I set out to do. I moved to Savannah and I played 6 games and ultimately fell in love with the game and the reasons why I love the game. I knew that this was something that the Lord had really planned for me because all of the passions, the dancing, the music, my faith, the rock and Jesus that He is, and just a teammate and partner that I have in Sydney, it was just such a blessing. And I could now see that His hand was strategically crafting this entire experience that funneled down to this opportunity 20 years later. With all that being said, I really encourage you guys to really take each season and each passion in stride and really pursue those things that the Lord has put on your heart. Because in John 13:7 it says, Jesus replied, "You do not realize now what I am doing, but later you will understand." And now I'm in a season season where I now understand where the Lord had me during all those seasons and all of that growth through the trials that were strategically placed, I see that He is just so present in this story, in this season, and I'm just so thankful that I stayed patient and I kept pursuing Him. So if I can encourage you guys, really pursue your passions, really go after the goals and the things that the Lord has put on your heart, because there is a specific plan that He has drawn up for each one of us.